Hello. Wow. Hello, everybody. Come on in. Welcome to this live on this beautiful March 29th. Hopefully, you can hear me. Hey, Aunt Shirley. Thank you. I put a post on your Facebook. My Aunt Shirley's on. Her birthday was the 28th, and mine's is today. So I'm adding in Sirin for our first series that we're going to be starting. Hi.
I think it's coming on.
I see you.
Hi. 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 How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Are we done? Are we there? There you go. You can see me,
Huh?
right?
Yeah, and hang on one second, Sirin. I'm just trying to pin because I can pin it. I should be able to pin it. Let me see. All right, guys, just bear with us so I can put that up. Where is the...
Someone's passing
Oh,
by.
no. Okay. Yeah. I forgot. I'll do it after. I can do it after. That's even better.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear April. We love you. We love you.
You're
Happy
so cute. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Aw,
I'm
so
so
many.
excited for doing this on your birthday. Like, what a great time to start something like this,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. Oh my gosh, and it's so like, it's very refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best word for me to describe it is refreshing. Just to be able to do this on my birthday. It's not like I had anything like planned per se. It's just another day celebrating 44 freaking years.
How does it feel?
You know,
I think that you have finally found that sense of MTF, me totally free, finding all that freedom within you. And I feel like you are living that right now. And I think that is also why this is such an amazing time that we're starting it, because it's like
mhm.
you're me as well, but you know, it's your birthday, so we'll do it, you know, talking about you. You really embodied this sense of finally, like, I'm just me, I'm free, and I can be me, you know?
Absolutely. And it's a very liberating experience. And I'm glad that you and I decided to do this series so that, we can share this love and this freedom and this whole MTF experience with people because people, especially nowadays, need it.
Yeah, totally.
Yes. So before we go into talking about me and celebrating as opposed to grieving the beauty of getting older, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. We're going to get into this whole MTF experience. All right. So Sharon and I have been posting up on the story. So if y'all have been on, you've seen us post on this whole MTF experience. This is the first of a series. And so I'm going to turn it over to Sharon so she can tell you all what the MTF experience is, what it stands for, etc.
Okay, so MTF is me totally free. Finding your sense of freedom on every single level, like physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Finally finding that sense of like, I am good enough. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
am enough just the way I am on every single level. And so, we're going to be talking about like why we started this, but me and April, we've known each other for many years, and this is something that we I think it's on, is it, I can see that, I think it's on your
What is that?
I don't know what
Oh, is
that is.
it part of the effects? Is that a
Ah, it's
heart?
the heart. Yeah.
I had I was, break. Hold on, because I thought it was like a. I was like, is this a black piece of paper stuck on my face? That's a, if y'all can see. So Sharon, I don't have my glasses on. It's a heart.
We love it. Yeah, it's a heart, maybe.
Perfect. I'm sorry.
So really, I don't know where I was, but anyway, so it's really, you know, we've been talking about this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And me and April, we've been through our own struggles, just like many of you guys have, right? Okay, we've had our own hardships, we've had our own challenges, we've been there, we're still going through it sometimes, yeah. And we wanted to create a space where we can really bring primarily women together. Okay, if men want to come in, fine, but really kind of a sense for us to really empower women, right? To bring a group of women together to be able to lean on each other, work with each other, learn from each other, support each other, and have a space to have conversations where we can really talk about, okay, how do we embody the sense of me feeling free? Like, how can I feel free in my body? How can I feel confident in my body? How can I feel enough in my body? Yeah, how can I feel enough being the person that I am? You know, my personality, how can I embody being that and not feeling like on any level that it's not okay to be who you are, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that I think we both look at it, but I'll just say from my point of view, is really about us sharing this space to have these great conversations to help empower you and empower us at the same time, to be like, ladies, we are magical creatures. Yeah, ladies, we are goddesses. And how do we fully embody that? How do we fully feel that inside ourselves so we can find the freedom to express ourselves, be ourselves, and live a life that we love? That's how.
Absolutely. Yes, yes. Feel it, just like feeling all of it, that whole where we talk about feeling the feeling. And these conversations, I'm just going to add on to what Sharon was saying. These conversations are so needed, because here's an opportunity. We might as well use this platform, right? We have social media, so we have this platform where we can have these open conversations. Look, Sharon is in the UK. I'm in the United States, and we can have this open conversation where it's a platform where we're welcome. You know, everybody feels welcome, comfortable, safe space to just be able to chat it up and share our own insights. Because again, Sharon had already mentioned that we've had so many conversations. Sharon, it's been like years, right?
Yes.
Years, so many conversations along this journey, always talking about, you know, as far as our feelings, our emotions with weight, the weight journey, you know, just you know what I'm thinking about, Sharon. I'm thinking about the pumpkin. This is all in love and fun, y'all. This is just, again, having open conversations. But we talked about weight. We talked about confidence. We talked about as far as what people need. It's not just about empowerment. It's about how one feels, feeling good. You know, it's not to go in so much into the whole thing. Oh, okay, how do you lose weight? Like, we're not on here to talk about that. We're on here to talk about the beauty of actually being free. I was about to narrow it down, but to make it general and open, it's the beauty of being free, celebrating freedom.
Us.
Would you say, sweetie?
The beauty of being us, right? The beauty of
Yes.
being you. Like you,
Mm-hmm.
without all the constraints of what your work tells you, or what your family tell you, or what society tells you, or what,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you being free to be yourself as
Mm-hmm.
yourself without having to be better than you already are, because you are already enough.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah? And embodying that sense of kind of freedom inside,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes. Hence why we put this whole thing together. You know, Sharon and I was, you know, we were talking, we were just like, you know what, we just gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually past time
Yeah,
because
pastime.
oh my gosh, Sharon, like, you know, because life gets in the way. You know, you all know everybody gets busy. We have I like to call them like unexpected surprises along the life journey that happens. And even though she and I would have conversations, we get on the video chat, we'll get on the WhatsApp, on phone, and we always talk about it. It's like, okay, man, yeah, you know what? We can do something with this. And all the ideas that she and I come up with in just having a conversation, it was just like, okay, now it's past that time. Now we can sit up here. Let's talk. Let's actually just get on the live, as much as we don't like it, but just get on the live and have these conversations. And that's why we decided MTF experience, me totally free, us talking, just having beautiful conversation where we could talk about the freedom of being self, being who we truly are, and being freaking okay with it, right?
Yeah.
So who's it for?
Right, yeah, who's it for? So I just want to say, like, me and April have, I think we both became like Zessers in, what was it, like 2009?
January 2011.
2011.
2011, sweet, yep.
So, okay, so I did become a Zest before that, but yeah, for the meeting. So we met in 2011, right?
Yes.
So since then, we've had many conversations. We've seen each other's challenges, we've seen each other's pains, we've seen each other's joys, and along that we've seen our transformations with each other as well, right? So this talk today, and in this series, and I love that it's a series, so we are going to be doing this regularly every week, every Monday, okay? We are going to be talking to you about the struggles of embodying ourselves, of feeling confident, of loving ourselves, of loving our bodies, of the challenges of feeling free to be who you are, and how you can become more of that. So really, this is for anyone who wants to be a part of a supportive network, wants to share a space where we can be vulnerable, right? It's really important as well that we can share our pains, because it's not just like, oh my goodness, look at all this stuff that I've achieved. Like, yes, we have achieved this stuff, but we've achieved it because we've been through our hardships, we've been through our pains, we've been through our struggles. And like I said, we still experience that now as well. You know, we're not Buddha yet, right? It's part of the human journey to have those like ups and downs. So this space is really a space for us, as a collective, you know, not just me and April, all of you guys who want to learn how to love yourselves and be free just as you are, without having to improve yourself in any way. That's what I would say. Would you add anything to that?
I would say, and it's definitely for people that are looking to feel better. And what I mean by that, Sharon, when I say feel better, I mean, using myself as an example, I feel better now than I ever have before. Hey, Lenorma, Rashida, Tracy, Mika Love. I feel better now than I.
Give us some love if you're like ready to be a part of this, right? Like, we want to hear from you as well. So please, like, comment, send a heart, or send a smiley face if you guys are like, yes, you know, I want to feel better, I want to be a part of this, I want to do all these things that we're talking about.
Yes, because this is what it's about. It's about the collective, as Sharon said. You know, we're always talking about community and bringing people together. So you all, hey, Lenorma, you all have the opportunity in the space. We invite you to this space to put comments out there, questions. You know, this is how it works. Y'all know how it is when we do lives. People got something to comment on. Yeah, this sounds great. Thank you. Awesome, Rashida. And so again, this is for people that have an open mind and an open heart, because a lot of times, you know, there's the notion of, okay, well, you know, the negative talk, self-sabotage. If you are feeling like I've felt before, in terms of that low self-worth, lacking in the self-confidence, just wondering, okay, how the heck am I going to get out of this new, you know, these new challenges that I'm experiencing, all of that good stuff, then this is for you. Yes. Feel Love Davis. I love self-care. What steps are you taking to keep a positive outlook during the epidemic? Sharon, you want to answer that first? Because I have an answer, but I'll let you go.
Yeah, and then I was saying, if you guys have any questions, please post them, because I think at the end we can answer them as well. But yeah, if you want, April, you answer that, and then we can answer more questions at the end, so that we can obviously the time
Okay,
on
so yeah. So then I'll answer as far as the self-care. Since it is my birthday, some people are like, no, April, you 44? Yes, I am. I'm 44 and I'm loving it, damn it. It feels good. So what steps are you taking to keep a positive outlook during the epidemic? Listen, if y'all look at it, and I'm going to be straight up real with you. If you look at it in this way, that there's always shit that happens. There's always shit that comes up. There's always challenges. I know this is a huge deal because of this whole shutdown. What is key and what is important is the mindset. So for me, it's a matter of meditation. It's a matter of me deciding that regardless, thank you for the birthday wishes, show your love, like it with the hearts, regardless of what is going on around me. I think I just put that in my post on Instagram. Regardless of what's going on around me, within me in terms of those challenges, I choose to feel better. I choose to live life with joy, with peace, because there's too much nonsense. There's too much of things that really don't serve us. That's just a waste of time. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of effort. So steps to take, it really starts, and Sirin and I talk about this all the time. You can chime in whenever, Sirin, but it really starts up here with your mindset. Because guess what? If you have the mindset and you're just thinking, oh my gosh, this whole shutdown, how am I going to get through this? I've gained weight. I just feel horrible about myself. If there's been, moments where I just feel like I don't know how I'm going to get through this, we change that mindset. And so for me, again, I changed the mindset. Hello, Andrea. Changing the mindset of the negative talk to the positive talk. It's really simple. I know it doesn't feel that way, but if we make a conscious effort and decide that I'm not going to feel like this, you think about how you want to feel, what makes you feel good, and that can look differently for us all individually. But the steps that I take is, again, taking that mindset, starting off, and I journal and I ask myself, I write questions. I ask and say, okay, April, you are feeling shit today. You feeling low. What can you do to get yourself out of it? I know what it is for me. It's my yoga. It can be my meditation. It can be my journaling. It can be me getting on with Sirin, as far as on the video calls. So these are the types of things that I do to continue to have that positive outlook.
And I think it's also like a balance between being and doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of like other self-care practices, we all know that there are things that make us feel good, like meditation, like exercise, like eating foods that actually make us feel good, like having a hot bath, like using essential oils, like I've given ourselves a little massage. Okay. And then there's the whole of how much do I actually do. So not everything is about always doing. So it's about balancing that doing of making yourself feel better and just the being, because sometimes it is about embodying the sadness, embodying the grief, embodying the pain, embodying the challenges, so that you can get the message, right? You can get the message of, what is this telling me? What is it that I need to do in order to move forward? Because actually our emotions, our challenges, our pains, they are all messages to us. And what we do is we block them. Yeah. So we need to listen to them so that we can evolve out of them. So mindset 100%, and that's why I do the work that I do, because I'm all about mindset, but also balancing the being and the doing, so that you have all of that together, and all of that together is going to help us create that sense of self-care, self-love, amongst all the other things we'll be talking about, and feeling better in times like like in the pandemic, because it's been hard. So in terms of how we're going to be kind of structuring this, is for the next few weeks, we are going to be talking about body confidence, because it's something that a lot of women have struggled with, are struggling with. It's something that we've struggled with. It's sometimes something that we still struggle with. Okay. So we're really going to be talking about how do we embody and love our bodies, ladies, okay, and gentlemen, without feeling got to make them better, because everything's about making our body better. Like, I've got to exercise so I can look this particular way, or I've got to put on all this makeup to look this particular way, or I've got to you know, do this diet so I can look this particular way. I've got to use this cream. I've got to use this hair product. I've got to, and doing all these things to make ourselves feel like, actually, my body as it is not okay. My body as it is not enough. It's wrong to be my body. It's wrong to have my body. And knowing all of that, like what April said, all that mindset stuff, knowing all of that, having that in the back of your head, like, I need to be slimmer, I need to be thinner, I need to be bigger, I need to be curvier, I need to be more toned, I need to be browner, I need to be whiter, I need to be whatever. It like eats your brain. Yeah. So it's like getting back to that, you know what? I can still take care of myself. I can still look after myself. I love myself and I respect myself, and that's why I take care of myself. Okay. But I'm doing it because I love and I respect myself, not because I feel like I am not good enough as I am now. So we're going to be talking about, like, how do you begin to embody that sense of self-confidence just as you are? Because once you start to shift your feeling around feeling good just as you are, okay, actually achieving all those things, being fitter, being healthier, being less bloated, aging, whatever, all of that actually becomes a lot more easier to feel comfortable around. Okay, so it's really about doing all of that so we can get aligned, okay, and feel better about who we are. And then by just naturally doing that, we will naturally then be able to live actually healthier lifestyles. So we're going to be talking about how to embody self-confidence over the next kind of few weeks, and then we'll be changing it up. If you have any question, guys, please write them in the comments, send us DMs during the week, because then we'll be able to answer them. We don't know how long we're going to do these, like, for, like, whether we'll do half an hour or an hour, because we obviously want to keep you guys like, we want to recognize your time and not kind of keep you too long. But if we get lots of questions, then we'll be able to stay longer and answer them in the weeks coming. So April,
Yeah.
you want to share some of your kind of challenges and transformations that you've been kind of going through, and then we can kind of talk about, well, what do we do to solve that?
Yes, absolutely. So, and this is another reason why when Sirin and I were talking, I was like, you know what? Let's just do it on my birthday. Started off, we were trying to figure out the start date and everything, and I was like, yeah, this would be perfect, because I was like, all right, I'm hitting 44. And just so you all know, for me, it has nothing to do with age. It has to do with the life cycle and how we feel along that journey of that life cycle, right? So when she and I were talking, we were talking about grieving this whole getting older, especially when we talk about body confidence, which, as Sirin mentioned, we'll get more in depth with it throughout the series. This body confidence. And when she and I were talking, it was like, okay, we have to move out of that headspace of, oh my gosh, I'm not at the weight I want, at the weight I want to be. Why am I, eating this, eating that, as far as my habits, etc. And it was this whole notion, like, for me, especially being now at this phase of the life cycle, so 44 years, and all the experiences, everything that I've gone through, it's been a healing journey for me. And I decided, again, mindset, I decided that, you know what, I need to stop being so negative and rejecting the changes and the transformation that's happening with my physical body. So we're only speaking of physical body at this moment. When I notice, y'all know, because again, we like, okay, how do you stay positive, keep a positive outlook during this epidemic, this whole shutdown? Because for a lot of us, it's like, fitness, yeah, right? Hey, Tai Chi guy. So with the fitness, that has changed tremendously. I know for me, I haven't been as active, nowhere near as active as I was, with being in the position that Sirin and I are in for fitness. And it was like, okay, sheesh. And now it's harder to, do the things that I've been doing to keep, my body at a certain, how do I want to say that? Keep my body in a certain way, as far as I'm not one that just have to have abs or anything like that, but there's definitely been some changes and changes that I'm not happy with. Yet it's a matter of turning that grief. Thank you, Tai Chi guy. It's a matter of turning that grief over into celebration. So the challenge is when we look at ourselves, I'm going to use this as an example, Sharon. So because, for me, especially the challenge is when we look at ourselves in the mirror, just got out the shower, you about to get dressed, you put on your pants. I'll give you a very good example. I put on my favorite t-shirt that I love that says, I just can't. Well, that t-shirt has definitely, well, I should say I made excuses saying maybe I put it in the dryer too long, which was not the case. It wasn't the case. I'm just going to keep it real. I'm like, okay, this is what's happening, and it's not that I'm just sitting around being so lazy. I'm not being as active. I'm still doing walks. Sharon does walks as well, but it's like, damn, I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I see that as far as my t-shirt just is tighter than ever before. My favorite shirt, which we used to be loose. And, for a lot of us, it could be this whole thing of, hey, Zoe, it could be this whole notion and feeling of low self-confidence, low self-worth, and just being like, oh, well, this is just how it's going to be. I just give up. So, yes, Tracy, you can totally relate. Awesome. And as we age, this is why I said, as far as the challenges that grieving, getting older, being in the age, the age group that I'm in, and noticing these changes, instead of grieving, how can I change this around to not grieve? Because I don't want to grieve. The grieving is getting me nowhere. I'm going to speak personally for myself. Grieving, that whole getting older, is getting me nowhere. What has been very helpful in making this shift, as far as making this shift in the mindset, is instead of grieving, we have the conscious choice. We have the choice to be confident in saying, I'm not going to grieve. I'm going to celebrate the beauty of getting older.
Or just
right?
changes, right? As well.
Yes, definitely celebrating those changes. So here's the thing, and this is what Sharon and I were talking about. Just remember that. Going with the flow, just flowing with it. This is going to happen. I was just telling Sharon about the whole thing of me entering the whole premenopause. Yes, I entered early. My mom did. I've already entered it. Right? And which we'll get into, as far as the menstrual cycle, all of that. There's so many topics that we'll get into. But I'm noticing all these changes in my body. And over this past month, it was just like, oh my gosh. And I was about to freak out. I was about to get into this whole state of, well, I might as well just eat whatever the hell I want. It's already changing. It's already going to be hard to get up out of that crap, being at this phase of the life cycle that I'm at now. And yet there was still this whole notion of, okay, I don't want to feel that. I don't want to feel that low self-worth. I don't want to feel as if, the world has just ended because these changes are happening with my physical body. And then now it's going to mess with my mental because of those physical changes. Let me go with the flow. Let me flow with it. And knowing that this is a part of my life journey, my life phase, and everybody's different. We're all individually unique in what we go through. We just know that there are changes, right, as we go along. So we embrace the changes, we celebrate the changes as opposed to grieving them. And how, you want to go, Sharon?
No, yeah, I was just going to say, because this is about how you can how you experience these changes with age, but also with regard to like the pandemic, how during this whole last year people have experienced this change within their bodies on multiple levels, and the importance of like not fighting it, because by fighting it, how does it make you feel? But as April said, by going with the flow, by choosing, consciously choosing to accept, right? And I noticed that I did a video, so I spelled accept wrong. Accept, yeah, to accept your body. Like, you have a choice, guys. Yeah, okay, bodies change, all right? They get bigger, they get smaller, they get fatter, they get thinner, they get heavier, they get lighter, they get bumpier, they get like, you know, we have all these different changes. Yeah, okay, on all different levels. And for females, we have even more changes, right? And we have the choice to look at it, to feel it, and to fight it, and to hate it, and to disgust it, and to criticize it, and to judge it. And it's like, where does that get us? Where does it get us? It gets us feeling worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And part of why me and April are doing this is like, we've experienced our own changes, right? And we could sit here on the video, you know, without you guys, and be like, oh my God, I feel so awful. Oh my God, look at this. Oh my God, you know, I'm aging. Oh, you know, and all of this negativity. Or we could be like, do you know what? This is what's happening, and I'm going to choose. And that's why we're doing these calls, to be like, actually, we're going to choose to celebrate this, yeah? To consciously choose that actually our bodies are beautiful as the way they are. They have to be what anyone else says, yeah, what anyone else expects. It's about us going back and being like, actually, do you know what? I'm enough. You know, I am enough, and I'm going to choose. I'm going to decide to to accept my body, and, like you say, go with that flow. And yeah, and I just kind of wanted to kind of stress that. Because that is what it's about.
Right. And this is why we got on here to do this. And, you know, it's real easy to just stay in what you're comfortable with. Of course, it's more challenging. It is way more challenging. Here's the crazy thing. It's way more challenging to simply decide you're not going to stay in that rut. You're not going to be stuck. You see, does that make sense, Sharon? Because, you know, when we talk, it's like, dang, it's easier to stay in this and stay stuck, but yet it's harder to make the simple choice.
Yeah.
To come up.
How easy is it to sit there and like criticize yourself and be like, you know, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm all these horrible things, and then just feel worse about yourself instead of being like, actually. I'll put it over to you, back over to you. Actually.
And it's like we're saying, okay, but actually I can get up out of this. I can move into a different headspace. I can say, okay, no more. Stop, girl, stop. Just do a little tap here. Stop rejecting yourself.
Oh my God, I love that.
Because you have, when we're basically rejecting self. You know, we always talk about as far as self-sabotage and all that. Think about it this way. You're rejecting self. And it's easy for Sirin to do it. It's easy for myself to do it. We've pretty much been doing it, right, Sirin? And rejecting self as opposed to loving self. That's where the whole self-love comes in. You love yourself and you be gentle with yourself where you're at. That's simple, y'all. And I'm not trying to, you know, be like, okay, get on board, y'all. It's just easy. No, I don't mean it like that. I mean it in a way that we can choose to make the simple decision to celebrate, to embrace where we're at, and be so kind and gentle with ourselves. Because, and also knowing, I think Feel Love said it, knowing that you're not alone. Like, I love the fact that I could talk with Sirin and have the conversation and tell her, you know, like when I said to her before, I'm like, all right, Sirin, you know, now what's been happening and evolving is this whole chocolate covered pumpkin, talking about myself. I had Sirin cracking up. And you know, the crazy thing is,
very edible though, guys. I take a bite.
Oh my gosh, sure. So, and then you know what? Then Sirin was like, okay, April, but remember, we're talking about this. We need to get out of that negative self-talk, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. how beautiful it is to have such loving friends, loving support where we can encourage each other and remind each other from that. Because then I was like, okay, that's right. I'm trying to get out of this headspace. Here I am telling Sirin about me being a chocolate covered pumpkin. And then, you know, now with her saying, yeah, April, but now we got to turn that around, flip that around as far as with the mindset. Oh, okay. This is where I'm at currently. I have the choice to make changes so that I can feel better. It's not about losing the weight or anything like that. It's just about feeling better. And I'm speaking for myself personally, right? So instead of, you know, saying these things, oh my gosh, Sirin, I even took a picture of my belly and sent it to her.
And I
You
sent
know,
one right back, didn't I?
yeah. So we're taking belly snaps and sending it to each other. You know, man, and the reason why I sent it to her is to send it to Sirin is because I wanted her to know, okay, you're not alone, right? Zoe, you better be scrumptious. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but yes, Lenorma, butterfly. I know, I got you.
I think that's what it's about, right? Like it's
Mm-hmm,
about we're constantly reminded to
mm-hmm,
be horrible to ourselves because
mm-hmm,
you've got to look that way, you've got to
mm-hmm,
have that hair, you've got to
mm-hmm,
have that booty, you've got to have those boobs, you've got to have that skin, you've got to have
mm-hmm,
that those abs, whatever, those nails, those toes, those feet, that you know, whatever it is for each individual.
yep.
And we're constantly like reminded of that, but how often are we reminded to love our bodies, accept our bodies, embrace our bodies, celebrate our bodies? We're not. And actually, if we are able to connect to that more, to begin like, no, actually, I'm going to celebrate. No, I'm going to celebrate. No, I'm going to accept. No, I'm going to love. No, I'm going to care. No, I'm going to be compassionate. I'm going to be kind
Mm-hmm.
instead, and have those constant reminders. Could you imagine what shift you would make? And that's why I do my coaching and I work with women one-on-one to embody this, right? To really embody this. And this is why April does her classes, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because we both work in different ways.
Yeah.
But the way that we both work is actually with the same goal. It's to help women, or like I said, men, you know,
Man.
um,
Mm-hmm.
um, really feel good about who they are in every way,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And we give them reminders. You know, April does them through her mindfulness classes, through her yoga classes, through her breathe and flow classes. I do them through my coaching, my life coaching, my theta healing, my subconscious reprogramming work, because actually it's all about shifting it
Mm-hmm.
to elevate yourself and elevate
Mm-hmm.
your emotions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And going back to what Sirin said, you know, where I have to look this way, I have to be, you know, a certain weight and this and that. Let me just say this. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be anything except do you and be you. I'm telling y'all, it's the mindset. If I sat up here and stayed in the mindset of, oh gosh, chocolate covered pumpkin, shirt getting smaller, pants getting tighter, just feeling so exhausted. If I stayed in that mindset, all it will do is just continue to bring me down. My energy will be negative. I won't be motivated. I'll just keep, you know, be like a what is that where you keep to yourself? Trying as far as be like a little animal. Huh?
Uh,
Hmm?
like an introvert.
Yes, yes. And just but like the animal that, you know, you're yes, hermit. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and just because that's me. When I start to feel low like that, and I feel like okay, I keep declining, and I'm so down on myself, rejecting self, then I'm gonna stay in that state of, dang, you know, this sucks. So this is my life. It just sucks. No, that's not my life. So it's again going back to changing the mindset and having those reminders. You don't have to be the only one reminding yourself. Change the mindset.
Mm.
Get your loved ones, friends, spouse, what have you, and say, hey, remind me. As long as they give you the reminders in a loving way, of course. Go ahead, Shreem.
because because what you think about you is not what others think about you, and the
Mm-hmm.
others who love you is actually what is like, I don't want to say right, but is the most loving, highest perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you
Mm-hmm.
stand there and you criticize yourself, do you think your best friend is going to say the same thing to you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think your mom or your husband or your brother or your sister or whoever that really loves you, God, if you, you know, if God is part of your life, do you think that they would say the same things about you? No, they wouldn't. Yeah. Why? Because when they look at you, they embody love. Yeah. So we
Mm-hmm.
want to shift our perspective so that we embody love and see ourselves through the eyes of love. And like we said at the beginning, it's not always the easiest of things. We know that. We're part of that. We're part of this journey. This is why we do the work that we do, because we're passionate about it. But the more we remind ourselves, the more we the more we remind ourselves, the easier it becomes. And I love that. You know, that's one of the things that I get my clients to do as an exercise, is to reach out to certain people to remind themselves of who they really are through the eyes of love, instead of the
Mm-hmm.
eyes of criticism and judgment and comparison and dislike and all the rest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we talked about the challenges as far as the grieving the changes, for example, in our physical body, right? And how challenging it is to get out of that rut, out of that mindset of staying stuck. And then we talked, hi, shiny disco ball, thank you. And then, Sharon, so just bringing it back to, there's key things that we just talked about.
Yeah, so we said all
It,
the solutions already, didn't we?
yeah, yeah. So now I'm bringing it back because we just talked about the
Yeah.
solutions. Because a big one will be the reminders.
Mm.
And I had put here while Sharon was talking, I was like, ooh, give yourself reminders and recruit loved ones to give you the reminders as well.
I love that.
Be-
Recruit. That's a good one. Recruit.
yeah, yeah, recruit loved ones, the ones that you know are truly supportive of you and want to help you live better, feel better. You recruit those loved ones to give you those reminders also. For example, Sharon and I. Now she's in UK, I'm in the US. But yet we have the reminders that we send to each other, even if we're just messaging it. It's not like you guys have to talk on the phone all the time. There's so many different ways we can go about this nowadays. So give yourself reminders, recruit loved ones to give you the reminders. Sharon also mentioned as far as shifting your perspective so that we continue to embody love. If
Mm.
you're not continuing to how do you embody love? You love on you. You do those things that make you feel good, that nourish you, right? And that inspires you to want to live better, to want to do better, to want to be better with who you are.
Mm.
You embody love by loving on self first before you can even love on others. And when you stay in that embodiment of love, oh my gosh, it's such a good feeling. And
Mm-hmm.
we all can relate to this because we know that feeling
And also
because we've done it.
choice, right? That choice, like I am going to choose to embody love instead of
Mm-hmm.
choosing to embody comparison, hate, judgment, criticism, and all the rest. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like we said right at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
choose to embody,
Mm-hmm.
choose to love, choose to accept,
Mm-hmm. And choose to celebrate.
yeah, and choose to celebrate, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, for
Celebrate.
sure. These are choices, y'all. And
Thanks for
and
the thoughts, guys. We love it. Keep them coming. Keep them coming.
yes, 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 yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. These are all choices. We can positively, in a positive mindset, decide I'm going to celebrate, I'm going to accept, I'm going to embrace all of the changes. There's always going to be changes. That continues. It's ongoing. So knowing that it's ongoing, all right, then I'm going to decide to go and flow with those changes. Choose
Yeah.
to flow
Yeah.
with those changes, knowing that you are worthy, you are confident, you are love, you are a huge part in contributing to this whole communal place that we have where all of us can come together, celebrate each other.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay.
I think, and if you're like, yeah, I want all of that, I want all of that, but like I'm finding it really hard, then there are several things apart from all of those amazing things that we've already, suggested. One, reach out to someone who really loves you and speak to them, ask them to
Mm-hmm.
you, ask them to remind you. 2, reach out to me in April, you know, reach out to us, like DM us, you know, we're here. We want to talk to you. We want to create a community. We want to support you. We want to love you. Yeah. We're here to love you if you want us to love you. Okay. We're here loving each other. Yeah, we're here embracing each other. We're here reminding each other, and we want to create a community where you can be a part of that if you want. So if there's something that you want, then please, you know, reach out to us so that we can support you in that journey. In that journey, we can give that to you. Yeah. So, you know, if you you are interested in embodying that more, and you want to do that through breathing, through movement, through meditation, through yoga, then you want to reach out to April, because she offers like amazing classes, amazing classes where you can really begin to practice that on a physical level, and like emotionally, spiritually as well. And if it's something where, you know, you really want to start to change the way you think, change the way you feel, then I urge you to like reach out to me as well, okay, so that I can support you in that. I also have some amazing meditations coming out, which are going to be free. So if you want to be a part of that, you know, beautiful self-love meditation, if you would like to be a part of any of that support as well, then please like DM April with your information, or DM me with your information, and we can get you onto our network where we can offer you more support in our community, etc., etc.
Yes. So that, all of that, yes, Feel Love Davis. Sign me up now. I hear you.
So send us your information, Feel Love Davis. Send me your email, April, your email, and we'll get you on it.
So all of that Sirin mentioned, in addition to what we are discussing here and having this open platform live on Instagram. Sirin and I had talked recently and before coming on to this live, and I had written down what we both discussed, and I just want to read this to you all, kind of summarizing what we've been talking about here today. Saying, I have the choice to confidently embrace change. I have the choice to flow with change. I accept this is where my body is now. This is how I'm going to support my body from here on out.
Okay, ladies, put your hands in the air. Put your hands in the air. Receive that. Embody that. Embody all of that.
It's so important. It's so important to not just say it, but to feel it. And like Sirin said before, embodying it. We embody it by actually feeling, truly feeling that feeling of, yes, I do have the choice to confidently embrace that change. I have that choice. Nobody makes that choice except for me. It's my responsibility. It's on me. And damn it, I'm going to look good and feel good with who I am as an individual, as this beautiful being of light, because we are all beautiful beings of light. Right?
Amazing.
Tamia, that's my cousin. Feliz cumpleaños, April. Hi, sweetheart. I miss you. Love you. Thank you.
So do you guys have any questions? Like, I know we've gone way over our time that we said we would, but I think we're just like on a roll, on a ball. We really want empower you guys. We really want to help you. So if you do you have any questions that you'd like to ask me in April, remember that for the next, you know, we plan to do this. Like, we want to be giving you workshops, you know, we're going to be giving you meditations, you know, I do my whole coaching healing thing. April does a whole yoga meditation thing. So as I said, you know, message us both so that we can get you onto work. Okay. And we want to be offering you the support. So if you have a question, please DM us like during the week, because we can answer them week by week. You know, we're going to be talking, as I said, about body confidence for the next few weeks, because it's such a big topic, and it's something that a lot of people have been struggling with, and we want to share our struggles and our how we've kind of made our changes. So so does anyone have any questions that they'd like to ask?
or comments,
or
because
comment.
we get that all the time too. You want to share what's on your heart, not just questions. We can do questions, comments of sharing how you feel.
Yeah. I know that just going back through that who was it? Someone said, I can see that I'm not alone, and that, thank you for the honest conversation, because that's what this is about, right? It's about us being able to be honest and being like,
Mm-hmm.
we're not going to be all fluffy about it and be like, yeah, just love yourself, yeah, because we can all say that, and that is what we want, but actually we're going to share how to do that and
Mm-hmm.
be real about it, that it's not always easy,
Mm-hmm.
but we have the choice, and that
Mm-hmm.
choice is going to help to empower us, and then you're going to have us to remind you,
Yes.
basically.
Here's your two loved ones as far as that you can recruit
Mm.
to give you the reminders as well. Especially we're going to be doing this weekly. So, and we love you all. We want nothing but pure light and love and that whole feel good vibe for everybody, not
Mm.
just us. So this is healing for us, Sharon and I, but this is also an amazing opportunity to just share that love, share that light being information as well, sharing our own insight so that you don't feel alone, so that you get those reminders, you get those words of wisdom and encouragement and inspiration.
Yeah. So we have a
Oh, there's a
question.
question. Yeah, that's my cousin Tamia.
Hey. So you want to answer it, or shall I answer it, or should
No,
we?
go ahead, Sharon. Best way to motivate yourself to get up and active. Because I answered that other question, so you can go.
So that was something, like, I love exercise. I've always loved exercise. And that's something that I found so difficult. Like at the beginning of last year, I was like, how am I finding it so hard to motivate myself? Yeah. But when I've loved exercise the whole time. Okay. So for me, there are different things that I've done, but the things that come to my head kind of instantly is, one, do something that you enjoy, yeah, whether that's just going for a walk at first, whether that's dancing, whether that's Pilates, whether that's jumping on the trampoline with your child. Okay, just start by doing something that you enjoy, because once you start, it becomes easier, right? So first, just start, okay, by doing something that you enjoy. And the second thing, I think, is like finding a buddy, if you're allowed, in the town or city that you're in. I think that always helps, because you can have those conversations, you can encourage each other, you could, if you can't meet in person, find someone who can hold you accountable online, through text or video. And the third thing is, what? Sometimes you just got to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
just know that when you finish, you will feel better. And literally, like we all know, sometimes the hardest part of doing exercise is putting on those trainers or sneakers. And once you put them on, okay, that's when it gets so much easier. So
Yes.
they're the things that kind of come to my mind at first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Would you add anything?
And well, I was gonna say, and it looks differently for everybody.
Okay.
Okay, I'll read what she said. Sharon. Zoe said, the universe guides us to exactly what we need. I so needed this. Thank you so much, ladies. April Zumba Mama, you already know. Yes, ma'am. Right? It, it's going to look differently for each of us. Some people, as far as exercise, some people are not yoga people. Some people are not the whole hit, high intensity interval training. You do what works for you, customize it so that it works for you. Yes, to me, I'm going to message you, honey, because Sharon and I, we're going to talk more about that, but I'll message you. And really quick, as far as in motivating yourself to get up and be active, this is such a huge piece. And Sharon, I've talked with you about this before too. Oh my gosh, waking up with that gentleness of gratitude, right? And being so thankful for being able to wake up. And I noticed that because of course I'm human, we're human, fall off in terms of that mindset. But I notice when I stay in that mindset of gratitude and I wake up with gratitude, it can be just, oh my gosh, grateful that I have a bed. When I'm waking up to that, that's my motivation to, okay, let me get started for the day. Let me be productive. Sometimes my days are different. Sometimes I wake up, I get a little cleaned up, have water, go into my meditation. Other times I'll wake up, have water, do a little bit of stretching exercises. So it sometimes just varies. It kind of depends on how I'm feeling at the moment. I do know that what motivates me, highly motivates me, is waking up with that beauty and that feeling and gentleness of gratitude. So I just wanted to share that piece because I feel for me personally, that's definitely motivating, highly motivating. This from my this this from my daughter, Miss April. You are so pretty. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Amazing. So I feel like we can kind of wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone so much for coming. Happy birthday, April. Shall we sing to April one more time? Ready? One,
Ah,
2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. I said, we love you, April. We love you.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, listen, really quick, Sharon. So, Feel Love David said, do you meditate at the beginning of each day? I'm going to answer that. I'm going to tell y'all that I do at the beginning of each day. It makes a huge difference, but I also do it if I can in the middle of the day and at the end of the day. But yes, beginning of the day for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Sharon, you?
do it when you want to do it, and do it
Yeah.
as little or as much as you want to do it, but just
Mm-hmm.
experience doing it. You know, the more you get into it, the easier it's going to become to do it. And actually, doesn't, even though it can set you up, you know, you can still have just as much benefit if you want to start doing it later on. You know, maybe me and April do it in the morning. We're kind of used to that. We've got into that practice. But if that's something that you feel like is a real challenge for you now, do it sometime during the day. And in the future, maybe you'll then be able to kind of add it into your schedule in the morning.
And
So
that waking up, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That waking up with gratitude, that's also motivation for me to do the meditation early in the day as well. But listen, y'all, we don't want to keep you. We appreciate you all coming on here. We look forward to you coming back on Mondays. Tell other people about it. Our Monday series, remember, it's the MTF experience. You guys will see that in the whole replay. Me Totally Free. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate life. How do you start meditating? I need a little more help. Okay. So definitely, well,
So why don't you send April a DM, because I think these questions are amazing, and I really want you guys to message us so that so we can like collect these messages as well and then answer them during the week. So if you are on April's platform, then you know feel free to come over and follow me, because next week we'll be doing this on my platform. And if you're from my platform, please go over and follow April, because we'll be then doing it on April's platform. So we're going to kind of change it every week.
Back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys like message us so that we can support you and answer your questions. I don't know, April, if you just want to answer that one for now. And if anyone else has a question, please email us. We want to help you.
Yeah, and guys, I'm going to be going on live later tonight anyway, just for my birthday. So if you, I don't know what you're doing tonight, but anyway, you could ask there too. But listen, how do you start meditating? Need a little more help. So there's different ways. There's guided meditation that you can use. Like YouTube has a plethora of guided meditations. When I say guided meditation, I mean, you know, where there's a person talking and they're guiding you through that, you know, having you settle down, sit, close your eyes, all of that. So that's a guided meditation. There's also the sound meditation where you can have the sound frequencies on. There's so many of those on YouTube as well. I will tell you that I just started offering one-on-one sessions for that. So you guys, like Sharon said, you can message me. And I would say a simple way, especially if you haven't been doing it and, you know, it's not a daily or routine practice for you, simple way would be to start off just sitting or lying down. You know, it depends on what feels good to you, sitting or lying down, and just taking a moment, sitting up nice and tall, your posture, closing your eyes, and just taking just deep breaths in and out. I encourage people as far as inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose, or you can exhale through the mouth, what works for you. There's no rigid way to do it, but I would start off there. And again, there's music. I'll even I can even, you guys can message me. I can send you recommendations on good ones that I have through YouTube. But definitely going back to sitting down and just being still, sitting in that silence. So Zoe, sitting in that silence where you're just sitting up nice and tall, your shoulders are relaxed. You can place your hands gently on your knees if you're sitting with your legs crossed, or even if you're sitting in a chair. If you're lying down, your arms can just be by your sides. You can sit and just be still. Here's the thing, and I'm going to say this real quick before we wrap it up. A lot of people are just like, yeah, but the thoughts come in. The thoughts are going to come in. That's just what happens.
That's part of it, right? That is
Yeah,
part
that's part. Yeah, you're allowing those thoughts to flow in. You can always return to the breath. Now, I also am teaching Kundalini yoga, and we talk about closing the eye and having that inner gaze, your eyes, having, while your eyes are closed, having that inner gaze lifted up in between your eyebrows. But, you know, we can get into that much later. Sirin and I have plans for all of that. But closing the eyes and letting those thoughts come in, remembering that you can, here's your reminder, that you can always return to focusing on the awareness of the in and out flow of just your breath. This is where you can also, when the thoughts come in, you can say, okay, I'm going to take a deep breath in. Be aware of that natural flow in and out. Just start with that. Even if it's just for 5 minutes, 5 minutes. That's it.
thing as well, like not feeling like you've got to do it like for 20 minutes or an hour.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
just start small.
Mm-hmm.
Start small.
Yes. Yes. And of course, we do many meditations in my Breathe and Flow class. All of that stuff is in the link in my bio. Sirin has a link in her bio. I'll put the information up here, but you guys already have our contact as far as the Instagram handle. And, you know, let's just keep in touch. Let's continue to inspire each other. And I'm glad you asked that, Zoe, because so many people have questions about just starting off with simple meditation. And yes, it can be done. You can do it. You can do walking meditation. There's so many different options. The key is to start and notice the difference when you start and become making it a habit.
Amazing. Amazing. So thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thanks for having me, April. On your platform
Yes.
today.
Yes.
Looking forward to you guys
So
coming.
yeah, so next Monday, you all will be doing the same thing, but it'll be on Sirin's platform. So I'm going to put in the comments after this is downloaded with the replay and everything so that you have Sirin's Instagram handle and, you know, you guys will have mine. So yes, Zoe, definitely inbox me. But this has been beautiful. It's such a beautiful experience. I'm so glad we started this. I'm happy that we're doing it every Monday now. Now it's a Monday thing.
Download it, April. Remember to download it when you.
Yes, ma'am. I'm glad you reminded me because I need those reminders.
I always forget, so I'm like, I need a reminder.
No, I'm glad you sent me that reminder because, you know, yeah, I'd have got off and been like, okay.
Love you guys.
Yes.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you all for joining. Love you. Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.